Day 2 of the Diddy trial is done, and here is your second update. Cassie took the stand again, and it got even more intense. She told the court that what started as isolated freak-offs turned into her full-time job. These sessions could last from 36 to 48 hours, and it was fueled by drugs. She was dehydrated and exhausted and needed literal days to recover. Cassie said she created hundreds of songs during her time with Diddy, but her music's career stalled because so much of her time and her week was spent either in freak-offs or recovering from them. What happened behind closed doors, y'all, was so much worse than we even imagined. She described the 2016 incident where Diddy threw her to the ground in a hotel hallway just days before her very first big movie premiere. She said she stayed down, covering her face, hoping he just wouldn't hurt her anymore. She said he had sent her a text that she took as a demand for a freak-off, and in her words, as damage control, she agreed to it, hoping that if she went through with it, the premiere could go smoothly. During that freak-off with an escort named Jules, she says Combs gave her a black eye, and at that point, she said all she could think about was getting out of there safely, escaping safely. She said, quote, "I had my movie premiere and I didn't want to mess it up." This was a pattern. Cassie said Combs dictated every detail of these freak-offs, including the timing, location, what was used, who was involved, even when they could ejaculate. She testified that if a sex worker ejaculated before Combs allowed it, then they were paid less, and if she herself was subject to extreme humiliation. She said she was choked. Some men even urinated in her mouth while she was raising her hands and begging for it to stop. This is disgusting, you guys. So to cope with this, she turned to drugs. But the drugs often made her feel nauseous or sick. And even then, she said Combs would pressure her to keep going. She said, if we were in the freak-off, he'd be encouraging me to continue even in that condition. She testified that Diddy recorded many of the sessions, sometimes watching them later while they had sex. In my opinion, he probably couldn't get it up without seeing a man, but that's just me. She said she deleted what she could from her phone, but she couldn't get his off of his phone, and even his staff could see it. By the end of the day, the jurors watched the 2016 surveillance footage showing Diddy dragging and kicking Cassie at the elevator bank. They looked to her, but she showed no emotion as she watched it. Diddy remained mostly stoic except during a break when he made a hand heart shape with his hands towards his daughter and then blew a kiss to his mom, showing he has no real care about this at all. Cassie returns to the stand tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. The prosecution will wrap up their direct, and then it's the defense's turn to, I'm sure, victim blame her. I'll be back with full coverage tomorrow, so y'all hit the follow button. I'll keep you updated.